He's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment. We're happy to share liquid lunch. Pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for a day. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salute. Welcome, welcome. So glad you could make it again for Liquid Lunch. I'm glad you are here because it lets me know that that the effort's actually worth it. But honestly, a Liquid Lunch on my own would be fine too. But I would never want to have a Liquid Lunch without the love of my life, Netter of Netters Network. Thank you so much for being here, my dear. You are absolutely wonderful. And so are you, Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Yep, hail. Good to see you. And Clifton 3D says, "Oh, this is a great streaming time." Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear you say that. We've been at it for about a week and a half. So by all means, check out the previous streams. Very, very different topics, just kind of all over the place. And if you have a topic you think would be good for a Liquid Lunch, just let me know. Drop it in the comments below. Let's see here. FKC 2005, also known as Tim. He says, "Hi, I'm off today." So that makes it easy for you to make it to Liquid Lunch. Merpo! It's lunchtime. Kapla. Absolutely. Good to see you, Mark. I think you're gonna like this one. I got a lot of fan films that you have pointed me towards in my little list of suggested watching for everybody. Let's see. They aren't swinging botlets at each other yet. Yes, exactly. Exactly right. She is not hurling heavy objects. I am not yet reciting poetry. And vibing to the song. Love it. Yes, the song is also separately posted in my... I actually have a music list, the theme songs that I've compiled for the different shows. Not sure it's 100% up to date, but definitely check it out. And I will certainly be adding more to it in time. I have a few things to do, so I will maybe be back before the show is over. Or by all means, make sure you check it out on the rerun. If you can always leave a comment if there's something you want to point out or say or to share. God, glory to you and your nest. That is funny. I like that. And you are sipping on a beer too. It's liquid bread. That's exactly right. You see, here's somebody who really gets the idea behind Liquid Lunch. He really, really does get it. Good, good. All right. Well, I'll let you guys start funneling in, placing your orders. Let me know if, as Clifton 3D already has, let me know what you're sipping on. And I thank you, by the way, Clifton 3D, Netters, Deleted Scenes, who I didn't see drop a comment, but you all did share out the stream. I super appreciate that. That'll get people in here. If you would do that, it would be much, much appreciated. And welcome, Madanui. Good to see you. Having a large breakfast, that is always good too. Mimosas are actually a very good drink to have with breakfast. I think that camera's just a bit high. There we go. Or a bit, yeah, pointing too high. But there you go, a little bit better. Not that you need to see more of me, but there it is. So fan films. Why am I talking about fan films? Well, I do have a tendency to complain about the what would you call it? The destruction, really, of our favorite. Really, you having a Bloody Mary, Big Al? I salute you, my friend. That is ambitious for afternoon. But you know what? Now that I think about it, very on brand for a liquid lunch, right? It's like a garden salad and vodka. I think that works very, very good for a liquid lunch. But we talk often about how dissatisfied we are with a lot of our franchises, even the ones that were doing really well initially. Marvel just have taken a nosedive, and it's usually because they are run by, let's face it, corporate whores who have absolutely no idea what their franchise is, what they have, and how important it is, and they have no love for it beyond the money they can make for it. Just put out another thing with that title on it. We'll put out toys. We'll be fine. We'll do, and they're not fine because they really, really don't understand. Yes, there are people, tap it into my vein. I need more. And I'll buy the Grogu and I'll buy the Ahsoka and I'll buy the things. But really, yeah, it's just not working. It's just not working for most people. Welcome. Influencer is not an occupation. That is absolutely true. I went to the theater to watch Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers movie, for the second time. I am really glad to hear that. I have heard some people say they really enjoyed it. But this is a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about. It is a franchise film in a franchise that is on a decline. A lot of people are not going to see this film in spite of the fact that a lot of people have liked it and reviewed it very positively, because they're sick and tired of everything that's all around it. They don't like the fact that you have to have gone to see or you have to have seen a bunch of the streaming shows in order to know who these characters are, where they came from, and what they're doing now in this show. I remember somebody saying, about what was it, the Captain Falcon movie. I can't remember what it was called. And someone says, when did he become Captain America? Because the last thing they had seen was Endgame, and yeah. Anyway, but that's okay, because we have fan films. I really do feel that fans are, that's wonderful. The problem is that there's not enough people that are going to make this thing profitable. We talked about it last week and earlier this week. We talked about what is required to make a film profitable. And just because you see a lot of dollar signs at the movies doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be profitable. It depends on how much they spent on it. And it's just not making enough money to make it profitable. I can guarantee you the toys aren't selling. Nobody cares about these characters. I mean, I've seen a bunch of people even in the comments saying, yeah, the only character that I really care about is Bucky. You know, and they've already got their Bucky action figures. So some of the best Star Wars is fan films. I'm glad you mentioned that, Clifton 3D. And therein lies the problem with my topic. I've got a list of fan films I want to share with you, but I could have gone on all day. And this is just a 1 hour show. So I've got to keep it short. If there is enough interest in this topic, I'll do a part 2 or something like that. I limited this to 2 franchises. Star Trek. That's why this is a great comment. I didn't even mention the Star Wars fan films, and there are a lot of great ones. If I do this again, I'll talk more about Star Wars. Star Trek and DC Comics. Seriously, there's a lot of DC fan films. I would argue that they are less fan films in the truest sense and more fan trailers of movies they would like to see. In fact, my favorite on the list, the last one that I mentioned, I saved the best for last, is actually a very long fan trailer for a movie that he kind of wanted to film, but he was never going to be able to get around to doing. And I think it was done 20 years ago. That's how long this fan film has been out there. The time just flies. It's absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Many of these you will probably have already heard of, but right. Oh, dude, if you do a full stream with Star Wars fans, I want to join. You want to join? Okay. You know what? Shoot me a DM and remind me of that. I will mark it up. I'll pencil it in on my calendar, and we'll figure out a good time to do that. Yeah, maybe we do a whole stream for that. That's a great idea. Great idea. Mikey Sue's 4, good to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. Star Trek and Star Wars fan films are some of the best should-be canon movies out there on the tube. Yeah, absolutely. And not only am I going to tell you about these fan films, I am also going to tell you where to find them as well. So let us get started. The first one, I think, is as far as Star Trek goes, is probably the most critical to fans. You probably already know this one, and if you don't, go check it out. And we're not really talking about a film. We're talking about what's really a whole series. And this is Star Trek Continues. And I am going to drop in the chat. They don't just have, links to their videos. I've got a whole website for you on this. It's a dedicated fan site. So let me where is my notes? Here we go. Star Trek Continues with the web page. You can go check it out. You can see their individual episodes. I can't remember if the ISOs are out there so that you can make DVDs of them, or if that was just available to the contributors on the crowdfund, because I do have those, and I did make DVDs out of all of them. Mikey says, Troy, I'd love to discuss Star Trek and Star Wars fan films, both on a future stream. As you know, I did one of each franchise every other Saturday afternoon on the Mikey Souza 4 channel. That's absolutely true. Between you and Clifton, I'm thinking we need to revisit this not as a liquid lunch, but maybe as a last call on a Friday night. So if you guys have availability on a Friday night, let me know, and we will absolutely make that happen. And as you guys know, Age of Boomer's much better with the slideshows than I am, so that might be something worth leveraging. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Star Trek Continues. Again, I'm almost certain that most of you that are fans of Star Trek know about this. It features Vic Mignogna as Kirk. Honestly, he is a perfect casting for Kirk. He looks the part well enough. I mean, let's face it, we're not looking for the CG de-aged William Shatner look. We're looking for it's perfectly fine to recast. Speaking of recasting, Grant Imahara as Sulu. God rest his soul. That was some great stuff. Big Al says Star Trek Continues rocked. It absolutely did. Yeah. I have to agree with you. Now, I have gotten a little bit of pushback when I've talked about fan films when I bring up Star Trek Continues and a couple of the other ones that are on this list. Are they really fan films? Because we're talking about people in the industry and with enough clout to actually be able to pull in people that have worked on Star Trek and other big productions. I'm still calling them fan films because they're not for-profit projects. This is not something Vic Mignogna was able to make money off of. He couldn't. He could only crowdfund in order to pay for the bare basics to break even, and it really was to a greater degree the fans saying, I want this, and if you're willing to do it, I'll put up the money to do that. Welcome, Maxworld Entertainment. If there is anybody who knows these fan films, it is Maxworld Entertainment. He is someone else that if you are ever available, I've already had Mikey Sue's 4 and Clifton 3D want in on a Friday night last call talking about Star Trek fan films. And if you are available for a Friday, if I could get like the three of you together, on a Friday night to talk about these, that would be brilliant. You guys really are the subject matter experts for this kind of thing. And definitely check out his channel, Max World Entertainment. Definitely worth your time. He's been in on the ground floor on a lot of these fan films. The channel is completely different. He's not really doing the fan films so much anymore. That actually brings up another great point about these fan films. Some of them, like this one, very easy to find. Their website is still up and running. Some of them not. You have to go to the Wayback Machine to find them. But what's important is that even when they're no longer being shared on YouTube, people tend to keep re-uploading them. The fan community keeps the fan edits alive. So let's talk a little bit more about Star Trek Continues. So what's key about this, and this is true of a couple of the other fan films that I'm going to bring up, is Max World Entertainment, please, if you are at all able, shoot me a DM along with Clifton 3D and Mikey Sue's 4. I'd love for you to be able to tell your stories on live on a last call. And you know what? If you guys want, you can simulcast with me too. You can have it on your channel as well. But anyway, let's get back to it. So Vic Mignogna, if you don't know him from, and this is where most fans really know him from, is playing Kirk in the Star Trek Continues. But a lot of anime fans know him as a very prolific voice actor in the American regionalized, Japanese anime. So, yes, I was going to mention that when I get to one of the later ones. James Crawley and Vic Mignogna both had their fathers who worked on the OG TOS series, New Voyages. I didn't specifically mention New Voyages, but yes, and Continues are basically years 4 and 5 of the Kirk universe. And unless I'm mistaken, they used the same bridge set for those. I'm not 100% certain about that. You guys might know better than I would. But yeah. So because of his ties, Vic was able to reach out to a number of Trek alumni, including Kipley Brown, who played Jane Taylor in Enterprise. And for those of you who, like myself, who are avid Star Trek Online fans, she does the voice of Camarque. John Delancey, we all know him as Q. Michael Dorn, he does the voice of the Imperial Starship Enterprise. I thought that was a pretty cool little Easter egg in that particular Mirror related episode. Doug Drexler, who did the visual effects for Trek, also did episodes 1 through 6 of Continues. Michael Forrest reprised his role as Apollo for Who Mourns Adonis. They did a sequel to that episode, and he reprised his role. Mark Ralston, who played various roles in TNG and Enterprise, and Marina Sirtis does the computer voice. They also pulled in some other names that you might recognize, including that weren't specifically, Star Trek, associated. For example, Lou Ferrigno, you remember him as the Incredible Hulk. Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant from Doctor Who. Gigi Edgley. Rod Roddenberry, the son of Gene Roddenberry, and Jason Isaacs, who I believe played in the Harry Potter films. He was the Malfoy guy. So yeah. And like I said, we're talking whole seasons of episodes here, not just like one single fan film. So it's definitely worth checking out. Another one, actually, I'm going to do two at the same time. Let me go ahead and advance these. So we've got Star Trek Gods and Men. So this one starred Nichelle Nichols, Walter Koenig, Grace Lee Whitney, Alan Ruck, Chase Masterson, Tim Russ, Garrett Wang, Ethan Phillips, J.G. Hertzler, Cyril Lofton, and Gary Graham. Not all playing the characters, some of them reprising their roles. Walter Koenig and Nichelle Nichols and Alan Ruck reprised their previous Star Trek roles. J.G. Hertzler and Chase Masterson and a number of others were playing new Star Trek characters. Let's face it, Gary Graham played a whole bunch of characters. So, just as long as he's there, that kind of does it. This was a much more... what would you call it? Bigger budget type of thing. Obviously, these are all Star Trek alum. And so a lot of people are less inclined to refer to it as a fan film, but great stuff. I do believe that the James Crawley, who worked on the Phase 2 Star Trek, was involved in this as well. But that also brings... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I should drop the link so that you can check this film out for yourselves. I definitely recommend it. And let's see here. Give me a second. I lost my notes. And I'm also going to drop the second one. Very much related, same production people. Was Star Trek Renegades. So a lot of the same people did this one. This one was intended to be an actual Star Trek pilot. They did submit it to Paramount CBS. But Paramount CBS has a history of telling the fans to go chase themselves. And there was no way they were going to pick up a project that, someone else submitted to them. They just don't do that. And this is why I say the fans are doing the best work. The people that actually care about Star Trek. And I don't think it's unfair to call Walter Koenig and Alan Ruck and Tim Russ. I don't think it's unfair to call them fans. They got into their characters. They played them long enough. They know the characters better than some of the writers at this point. I have heard many, many stories at many, many conventions. People saying, yeah, check out the DVD behind the scenes of, this season or whatever. We talk about, how the story could have gone very differently. But, I said to whoever the writer was, I just don't think my character would do that. And then they say, in this episode, I did this. And in this episode, I did that. And it's like, yeah, you're supposed to have editors that keep track of that continuity, and back in the day, Mike Okuda and Denise Okuda and Rick Sternbach and whatnot, they kept notes, journals. They put out writers' Bibles, technical manuals, canons and continuity to keep all this stuff straight. If you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to be making a good product anymore. So now I want to get into some of the ones that are absolutely fan films. These are absolutely low budget or no budget fan productions. Hidden Frontier is another one that they actually have a whole seasons of episodes out there. This one is obviously set in the next gen. I don't think you can see it from here, but this is a Dreadnought upgrade Galaxy class. So, where you can't see it, there's a third nacelle, but it's got that spinal lance phaser on the front. So this is meant to be the that alternate future that we saw in All Good Things, right? So it's a great way for fans to explore, alternate realities and so forth. Oh, Mark Malnikoff mentions that he has the DVD copy of Renegades. That's right, because he donated to it. He felt it was absolutely worth it, which is absolutely really cool. I actually might have a copy of it myself here. I don't know for sure. I have to go back and check. I know I have all of the Star Trek Continues. I contributed to that. And they didn't give you physical copies. They gave you ISOs to write your own DVDs, which, of course, I did. So yeah, Hidden Frontier, it really is a great, quaint, I'm going to call it a quaint series. And here is another one, a very, very low budget, set in the original series timeline. It is Starship Exeter. They've got multiple seasons out. Again, it takes place on the Constitution class USS Exeter. All unique new characters. Definitely worth checking out. I think I have made DVD copies of these as well. Again, I've got to check. It's been a while since I've gone back and looked at these. But that is the extent of what I was going to talk in terms of Star Trek. But honestly, there's a lot that I'm leaving off that, we'll have to cover another time. This is a rabbit hole you absolutely can go down. There are dozens and dozens of fan films and fan series set in the Star Trek universe. Some of them are a little less accessible to American audiences because they are in the German language. Germany is really, really big on Star Trek. In fact, Germany is, next to the United States, the second largest international group for the Klingon language. Those of us in that get together with the Klingon Language Institute that belong to that organization, and they have their get-togethers every year. They have a large number of Germans who participate, and they have their own Kep-A and Kep-Hom in Germany. Sometimes it's the only way we can communicate is by Klingon. It's the one language we have in common in some cases. But there you go. Yes, I did not mention Farragut, but Farragut is another one. There's actually a whole list of shows in this same vein that are named after ships. So definitely worth checking out. So we'll have to cover Star Trek another night, maybe on a Friday night with you guys in the chat. It would really be a lot of fun. But now, changing gears, I want to get into, there's a lot more DC Comics related fan films than you would think. Now, admittedly, a lot of them are Batman related because, let's face it, it is easier to do a Batman film than a Superman film. A lot less special effects and so forth. But I'm going to drop the link for this one. This is World's Finest. This is a short, almost implies a greater movie. Definitely one that I would have loved to have seen. I personally think this one is better than Batman v Superman or anything else in the Snyderverse. This was really a fun one. It's definitely worth a watch. Again, I'm dropping the links for you guys because did I drop Exeter and Hidden Frontiers? Let me make sure that I do that just because I want to make sure you guys have the resources. I will be adding these to the stream description too below, so that if you come back, you can find those easily. But yeah, World's Finest. This one has come down, gone back up. Fans are resharing it. It's always good that the fans are involved. The next one, again, another Batman one. I do not want to say too much about it because it is a short. It's got a surprise ending, and I don't want to ruin it for you. But the interaction between Batman and Joker in this is actually kind of brilliant. You might actually, if you are really sharp, this logo actually gives it away. But maybe it doesn't for you. Go ahead and check it out. Watch to the end for sure. Bit of a surprise there. It's more than just a Batman fan film. I kind of wish that there was like a major sequel to this, but I don't think that there was. Batman Dead End is one that gets a lot of talking about. One that is very difficult to find online, but of course I am going to share a link. Is more of a fan trailer than a full film. They wanted to do a full film, but that was just too ambitious. Kingdom Come. This one's especially has a special place in my heart because the people that played Superman, Power Girl, and Wonder Woman, Netter and I know them personally from our time as doing cosplay. So it's very interesting. The only way in which I would compare it to a Zack Snyder thing is just like Zack Snyder when he did Watchmen and he did the 300 and so forth. He has a tendency to use the comic book as a storyboard. So he would get scenes that directly reflect the the famous panels of the comic, and that's exactly what this trailer does. They reproduce the scene of Clark, in his overalls and beard, lifting the tractor trailer, and stuff like that. Obviously, this is another famous scene from the comic book. Mark Melnikoff says, just remembered 8 years ago, my work butless were used in Stormfront Part 1 by Stormfront Studios. Sadly, they only made one film, and due to another production contract, my name wasn't in the credits. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, you will find Mark Melnikoff's reproduction, or in some cases even original, Klingon weapons in many fan film and fan works. Not to mention, people walking around conventions dressed as Klingon. Either they have, kind of a knockoff they made themselves, or they have a really good Mark Malnikoff Botleth. He is absolutely the Klingon Smith to see if you are looking for a convention safe Botleth, Macbeth, or just about any other kind of Klingon weapon. But anyway, yeah, Kingdom Come, definitely worth checking out. If you have ever read the comic, definitely want to see this. It'll fire up your imagination. And if you haven't, check it out and then go get the comic. You can find it in trade paperback these days. It's easy enough to find. The Death of the Batman. This one is an interesting one. I did get a DVD copy of this directly from the creator. He isn't like big in the fan film genre. He's done a lot of other films though. This is a well done fan film because this guy is I think now he's a professional filmmaker, but he was a film student at the time that he made this. So it was really good quality film. Let's just say this is very, very edgy. This is edgy, like pushes the boundaries of Snyderverse type edgy. So this is definitely not one I like to think of in terms of canon. This is more one that I would put as if I wanted to cap off the Joel Schumacher run, this is the one I would put at the end as a capstone to that. But it's interesting. It's worth checking out. Not exactly one of my favorites as far as story goes, but it is one of my favorites as far as production value goes. And Mikey says, thank you so much for the links, Troy. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'll have them in the description below. The one I'm probably going to spend the most time on, though, is the last one. This is my absolute favorite fan. I guess they call it a fan film. It really is a fan trailer. I mean, it's a very long fan trailer. It implies almost the entire story of a film that never was. And honestly, really, really should have been. I do believe that the folks over at Film Threat did a piece on this as well. This is obviously a story of an adult Dick Grayson who has he had gone on to a solo career as Robin. A lot of this is implied story. This narrative that I'm going to share with you. He has gone on to be Robin in his own right. He eventually retires from being a superhero, marries Barbara Gordon, and they have a daughter who is later kidnapped by the Joker. Yes, and so now he has to come out of retirement to try to find his daughter and rescue her. It implies the storyline of the Killing Joke as well, taking place within the span of this narrative. And I want to say this is like a 5-minute fan trailer or whatever. But there is what's even better, I think. Well, not better, but at least as good and even more impressive than the fan film is there's like a 30-minute documentary that the filmmaker did about his process in making it. And it is fabulous. It is fabulous. So there is a scene where Dick is talking to Commissioner Gordon in the library at Wayne Manor. And he has done this mock-up of the library with these, bookshelves and all of these books. And he said, and I'm obviously paraphrasing, he says, he said, in order to get this shot, I had to learn the rules and limits of borrowing books from every library within 200 miles of my house. He took out a whole bunch of library books to put up on the shelf, get the scene, and then he had to go and return them all. I think he said even the bookshelves were like purchased, used, and then taken back. The guy that played Commissioner Gordon looked perfectly comic accurate. He said, but this gentleman is not an actor in any way, shape, or form. He said, we took so many takes to get this one line, and this was the best take we could get. And we just said, we got to go with it, I did feel that the filmmaker fell into a trap that I see the big Hollywood studios doing as well. And that is, instead of keeping it focused and grounded to just the story you want to tell, towards the end of the fan film, he throws in Easter eggs that implies all these other superheroes. He gets Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern. I don't even remember who all he throws in just quick scenes. Some of them looking better than others. The Green Lantern did not. It actually made the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern look good by comparison. But, I mean, everyone else looked great. There's the scene of Diana throwing her lasso, and the lasso's like got this glow effect to it. It's actually pretty cool. But I'm like, if you're going to do a film about Grayson, it's got to be very street level, in my opinion. I did appreciate the appearance of Superman, and I'm forgetting the actor's name. He's done Superman in another project. I can't remember what it was. Looks perfect. And because there's this great scene of Clark is trying basically to, let us help you, let us handle this, whatever. And he's like, no, this is my daughter. I can't just leave it alone. And he takes and he hauls off and he punches Superman. And he has to really, roll with the punch so as not to break his hand. And I don't remember what the line is. Back off, Clark, or something like that. And that was actually a really good scene. And when from the comics, Dick Grayson's relationship with Superman and whatnot, it makes sense that Superman would have a cameo, but I don't think we need Wonder Woman. We don't need Green Lantern. I think that was all just a fan going maybe a little farther than he needed to because he could, you know. And I can't say I blame him for it. And it is a fan film. It's easier to forgive a fan film than the studios doing the exact same thing with their big budget Superman movie that the more I see, the more I think it's not even going to barely have Superman in it. He's going to spend more time in the Fortress of Solitude convalescing, you know, than, you know, Guy Gardner is going to get screen time. It's freaking ridiculous. Sorry. Let me rein it in. We're focusing on the fan films, and Grayson is a great one. I made a DVD of this, and I definitely made a DVD of the behind the scenes. It is great stuff. So I highly recommend you go and check these out. Most of these are fairly short. Especially the DC ones, which are really usually just, you know, the equivalent of a trailer. You can spend a lot of time on the Star Trek ones, though, because sometimes they're like a whole season worth of episodes. Some better than others, and keep in mind, sometimes the special effects are, you know, they're on a budget there, so they do the best they can. A lot of use of CG. Some of the CG, though, you'd be surprised how good some of it is. Sometimes it rivals the big studios that are really cheaping out and not paying the talent the way they should. But that is fan films. I guess I didn't call it fan films a primer, but I probably should have, because this is just the tip of a huge iceberg. And I will definitely want to get into this more. Looking at you, Max World Entertainment, Clifton CD, Mikey Sousa 4. We'll have to revisit this topic. But I can't keep you guys too late, because this is Liquid Lunch, and I know that a lot of you have to get back to work. So I am going to start winding this down. I do want to mention, however, take a look at my community tab, please. I will be doing a guest appearance on Brandon the Anime Guy's channel. I believe that's simulcasting both on YouTube and on Rumble. But I did link to the YouTube because it's easiest to share out on the YouTube platform. So take a look at that. That's 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. I believe that's a 1 hour show. I do have my D&D night, so I did say, you know, I can be late for D&D, but I can't be that late. So let's. But it would be great if you guys could stop by and at least say hi in the chat and hit the thumbs up, just to let them know that maybe I'm a worthwhile guest to have, because I'll bring some foot traffic. Tomorrow night we'll be talking with the Ginger Ninja over on Netters Network, and on Friday, last call, we will be talking about must-see TV. A phenomenon I think no longer really exists, even though I feel that those of us that live stream here in the YouTube sphere are trying to replicate the concept of must-see TV. We are going to talk about the panel's recollection, Netters, Aged Boomers, and myself, our recollections of must-see TV, and in my case, going back to the 70s. Yeah, must-see TV goes way farther back than I think a lot of people realize. So hope to see you on all of those, my friends. I've got a lot to share with you and so little time to do it in. And I super appreciate all of you who have come, chatted with me in the chat, hit the like button, shared out the stream. If you are so inclined, subscribe, and if you really, really like what I do here, become a member. It's the only way I can keep doing what I do. I'm not even exaggerating when I say I couldn't do this without you guys. So I want to thank all of you so much. Have a great one. Get back to work. Take care. And I'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.